discussion. And I think I want to dive right into this discussion, which is about Gen AI and in the BFSI industry, right? So to I'm going to direct my first question to Avik here. Avik, when we see the all financial services industry today, including banks and insurance companies put together, they're in the thick of transforming their business digitally, right? And they're looking essentially at these five core pillars, which is essentially they're looking at customers, they're looking to create data as a strategic asset. We're looking at competition very, very differently, which is competition is no longer linear today, right? And that we've seen being disintermediated. And I'm going to jump into the question very quickly. And they're driving innovation, creating value for their customers and for the industries equally. My first question to Avik here is that in the last 5 years, what is your take on how do you see this financial ecosystem being disrupted by the, you know, by the ecosystem, the financial ecosystem that has emerged, digital ecosystem, whether it's in new banks or payment gateways, digital wallets, how has that shaped the industry, particularly banks? And how's it really helped solving that traditional industry problem? What do you
Yeah, I
think
mean,
of it?
it's already disrupted, right? I mean, it's no longer there, whether it will disrupt or not. It's already disrupted. See, I mean, traditionally banks all over, I mean, including India, has been more of a monolithic structure, right? And what the new tech-enabled banks and fintechs, whatever we call them, way they're working is they're taking one piece at a time, right? They're taking brick by brick, they're taking one piece like a payment or a lending and making like fantastic customer experience, like phenomenal journeys, which is improving and making the digital savvy, digital native customers flock towards those kind of products, right? So as incumbents, the bank has to respond, and they have been responding, and that's why they've invested a lot in the tech modernization of the tech. But it's very, difficult. It's easier said than done because the banks are set up like product verticals, right? And what this requires is a very horizontal pivot to that structure. So they're in the process of doing that, while the fintechs also, because in this space, in the banking, right, we also have to understand that banking is a very critical piece of the economic plumbing of a country, and hence it needs to be regulated. And whenever there's a regulation, there's a trade-off between innovation and regulation. So the fintechs will struggle to balance that trade-off, while the banks will have to give that horizontal pivot to their structure, come to a more customer view than a product view, and that's where I think the battle will be won or lost.